This episode of Do Go On is brought to you by the remaining dates of our UK tour. There are very limited tickets still available for our Birmingham show and for our London matinee show. So if you are in the area and you want to come and get the tickets, head over to dogoonpod.com. And also, this will be your last chance for quite a while because we won't be coming back to the UK next year, just to add a layer of guilt there as well.
We've checked the calendar and it is jam-packed.
We're busy. We've got jam-making classes. We've got...
packing class, ass packing classes.
I need a few lessons.
And we're going on a trip where we're going to ride our bicycles.
Yeah,
Amsterdam.
We're going to Amsterdam. So yeah, definitely come to those shows if you want to, because it'll be your last chance for a little while.
That's this coming Sunday and Monday.
And if you want to go and see the best stand-up comedy that the world has to offer, probably look it up on Google or something. But if you want to come see me do stand-up comedy, I'm doing a show in London at the Bill Murray on the 7th of December. Yes, that is just a couple of days away.
This Saturday, I believe.
Saturday, I think there's 5 tickets left.
Oh, that's nothing.
So if you and 4 of your best friends want to snap up the last ones, please do so. And you can do that at mattstewartcomedy.com/gigs.
But for now, on to a live episode that we recorded only a few nights ago in Dublin. And let me tell you, it is a ripper. Please enjoy.
Please indulge.
This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates.
Ladies and gentlemen, people of Ireland and or the UK, we do not have time to record 2 of these. People of whatever town or city we are in right now, make some noise if you're ready to podcast. Yeah, assuming you made some noise there, let's proceed to the next section of this definitely live and not scripted introduction. This is designed to build a rapport and find common ground with the audience. So if you're in Ireland, how shit are the English? If you're in Scotland, how shit are the English? And if you're English, I'm so sorry. We think you're all right. And now we're all friends. Please welcome to the stage, all the way from England 2.0, back in the habit, aka Australia, it's Do Go On! Tonight. Yeah. Hell yeah, that is, I've got to be honest, a rapturous response. Thank you so much. Welcome. I was going to tell you, we've got to do the show. Welcome to another episode of Do Go On. My name is Dave Warnicky and I'm standing here on stage with 2 of the best in the business. It's Jess Perkins and Matt Stewart.
Oh, thank you so much.
Hello.
This is very nice. What a lovely reception. Hey, you... All right. A little bit I was about to do some crowd work, but...
Where are you from?
Whereabouts are you from? Nah.
Look,
that's great, cool. Sounds nice.
Do you mean to translate that? Calvin.
Yeah, good. Go
Calvin,
early.
Yeah. You know what they say about Calvin, guys? Real big dicks.
So congrats on that. Yeah, good for you.
Real big dickheads. Real assholes. Real bad guys. Bad people out there.
Anyone else
out in that direction that you were from, they are real pieces of work. Them Calvinators, we call them. I bailed when I was about to do it, and then I bailed, and then it did it anyway. All right.
It doesn't sound like you bailed at all.
I've
Save
had
him.
2
Save
Guinnesses.
G'day.
All right. Here to party. All right. Someone was getting me a Jameson's, but it has not arrived.
Someone was getting... It's day one of the tour, and look at you going full diva straight away.
I'm a diva. Anyway, we've lost them early. We
We're going to get them back with some more crowd work. Anyone else from Calvin in tonight? Yeah, up the back. All right. Where you belong. Sorry.
What does Calvin mean? That's Calvin, you fucking idiot.
I'm really sorry to everyone from actually from Calvin. I didn't mean to besmirch your good name. Calvin, oh God. I'm so sorry.
I'm staying out of this one.
Yeah. Jess is so diplomatic.
Yeah, I'm like, nah. We're outnumbered by a lot. So you guys are the best, and it sounds like a beautiful paradise.
You really cheered a lot for the English being shit, didn't you?
Let's see how that goes down tomorrow.
No, we're in Glasgow tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
We're going real well.
Let's see how that goes down on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I think it's really nice to hear that they've worked out their differences. So.
All right, well, we are so stoked to be here to do our first Do Go On pod for the tour. We've been hanging out in Dublin the last few nights, having a great time. Last night we went out to Temple Bar. Don't know if you've ever heard of that.
Getting a bit of culture. It was real great to get a bit of Irish culture.
Yeah.
We were like, we gotta see some culture, and we did. We went and we saw a guy singing some Irish songs.
Oh,
American Pie. Genuinely, he goes at the start. He's like, I hope everyone's here for some Irish music, because if you're not, you can fuck off.
And we were like, we are here for Irish music. This is exactly what we want.
2 songs later, he played American Pie.
Yeah, it was confusing. And then he changed the words for dirty old town to dirty old man in relation to himself. That was fun. I was like, at least he's aware. The self-awareness was nice.
Yeah.
That was good.
He kept telling off guys in the, I guess, audience for telling them off for invading what he called the ladies only zone, but then kept saying, but I'm allowed in the ladies zone.
No ladies should be letting you in their zone.
And then I looked up, and on the roof there was a sign that just said no spitting. And I thought, if you have to say it.
What's happened?
I know.
What's happened that you had to put a sign up?
Yeah. Love your
Spitting
city.
competitions.
We love your culture. Thank you so much for imposing it. Thank you so much.
Your culture.
Dave doesn't really get it. Jess and I are like mainly Irish heritage, whereas Dave is a German. So he doesn't really get it like me and Jess do. We're basically
right.
You guys. If you are turning on anyone, make it be Dave.
Get out of that one, dickhead.
I love Kevin. Was that right? Nailed it. All right. So this is the first podcast of the tour. We are very, very excited to kick off with our first ever show here in Dublin. But
Matt's just selling drugs on the side. If you need anything, just stand at the side of the stage for a bit. Just lurk. Lurk side stage. Matt will fix you up.
yeah.
He's
You
got a
gotta
trench
tap
coat.
your nose. Tap your nose 3 times, and hand me your Jamesons and
I
in a
love
Jack
it.
Daniels glass.
Yeah, Jack Daniels, that classic
It's
Irish
confusing.
drink. Ooh.
It's confusing. Dave, start the show, I
Oh,
reckon.
what I was going to say is, because we're about to do a podcast, give me a round of applause if you've ever heard our show Do Go On before. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. You clapped for a long time. We weren't fishing.
Yeah, that was amazing.
It was just a bit of market research,
and then
really.
I pointed at you just because you were like, you're sort of sitting and then clapping with your hands up high, but it looked weird that I singled you out, so I just started pointing to other people to cover that up. And you! Other end of the scale, don't be shy, of course. Give me a round of applause if you've never seen or heard our show before.
A few as well. Awesome. Well, thank you very much for coming. I
Oh, the
appreciate
person from Cavan, of course. Of course.
A lot of joy about never hearing
Yeah.
this before over here.
it. And they're like, and I still won't.
La 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 la.
Not listening.
Well, if they're not familiar with the show, what we do here usually is a report on a topic suggested by a listener. And why the hell change things up now? But what we've done is we've all written a mini report on a overarching topic, and we have gone for Irish stories.
Oh, that works out well because this is in Ireland.
Imagine doing that in Glasgow. They'd be like, what the fuck? We'd be like, because we're not very bright. But thanks for coming.
Yeah. So I'm going to kick things off with the first report here on an Irish tale.
Okay.
And we usually start with a question. And again, we're going to stick with that. And I'm going to ask the question to Jess and Matt. And if they don't know it, we can throw it over to you lovely people here. Matt looks like he's ready to buzz in.
I did just zone out a bit, but I imagine we're about to start the show.
Yeah. Here's the question is...
Nailed it.
As a point of national pride, in 1956, an Irishman stole a painting from which London gallery?
The London Metro? Is that a thing?
Which one?
The Metro?
No?
Boba?
No?
Schlobschla.
Is he close?
Is it something like blah blah? That'd be the Museum of something. So it'd be like...
Whoa!
I think you'll find I nailed that.
That was the most coordinated you've ever been, and you were dropping something.
I did it. It rhymes with mate.
Tate!
It is the Tate! Well done. Well done.
Victory feels good.
Rhymes with mate. I'm gonna get this.
Right.
Spate.
I reckon you just start.
The topic today, mate, is the Hugh Lane painting robbery.
Okay.
Suggested by Ellie CK from Melbourne. We've come a long way to avoid it.
Comes to every Melbourne show. We refuse to do any of the topics.
Sorry, Ellie. Round of applause if you've ever heard of this topic.
Oh, a smattering.
Round of applause if you are in fact lying. What an great
Why'd you look at him and assume he doesn't know anything about art? He went, bullshit.
No.
I believe you. I reckon you know all about it.
Thank you. Would you like to do the report? Without looking at this? All right, so this is the story of the Hugh Lane painting robbery, which is, as you know, a great tale. Let me tell you about Hugh Lane, first of all. Hugh Lane, Matt, if I can just make sure you're focusing.
Where'd you
Did
go?
you notice that we lost someone?
Yeah.
It's usually about that far in.
Yeah.
Hugh Lane,
he's a big Hugh Lane fan, and he will not hear you besmirch his good name. Are you about to besmirch him?
Absolutely not. I'm a big fan of the Hugh Man. And that is Hugh Lane, born in County Cork in 1875.
Few Corkheads in, all right.
Yeah. Let's get corked.
Is Cork, which one's Stab City? Is that Cork? Limerick, okay.
You always...
I found that out. I stayed there about 10 years ago, and I walked the streets in the middle of the night and then watched the news. I went, oh, what have I done? Even the newsreader called it Stab City.
No, this is County Cork in 1875, but he was brought up in Cornwall over in England. All right.
Are you from Cornwall? Yeah. Yeah. Covered it really well. You're fucked.
Oh, yeah, that's the Cornish people do scones wrong. They do jam, then cream.
They do it the right way, yes.
Yeah, that's why they put the spread on and then the cream on top. I mean, it makes sense.
They do scones wrong, but they do pasties. Oh, so right.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, that's it.
Getting a few stickering at us having different accents. Like you didn't already know that.
Wait, which bit? Oh, what did we say wrong?
Scones.
There's no W in it. What are you doing? Scones. What are you doing? I don't know what that is.
I love it.
That's something from around here, I reckon.
Hugh Lane
Right.
began his career as an apprentice painting restorer working for an art dealer in London. He went on to become a very successful art dealer in his own right, but for a time, money really came and then went, leading him to become a famously frugal man. According to The Guardian, like his aunt, he frequently dined on a bun and a piece of fruit. Good combo.
It sounds like he's living like a king.
Yeah. What kind of fruit are we talking? Because that changes a lot of things.
Rotting fruit.
Okay, well that
I don't know that.
doesn't sound that great then.
He operated out of London, and he remained in close contact, however, with family and friends back in the motherland, in Ireland. And according to his own website, quote, he counted among his family and friends those who collectively formed the core of the Irish cultural renaissance in the early decades of the 20th century.
When's this story from?
Early 1900s?
How does he have a website?
It's true, he does!
He was ahead of his time.
Yeah. I mean, the real story is here he invented the internet.
Sometimes you think he's zoned out, but he's actually...
And he's asking the right questions.
Yeah.
I was like, 100 years after he's dead, his website is still really beefing him up as being in touch with the Renaissance.
Lots of hashtags.
Yeah.
He's dabbing.
On a visit back to Dublin in 1901, Hugh Lane viewed an exhibition of paintings by Nathaniel Hone and John Butler Yeats, who was the father of many artists, including poet William Butler Yeats. Ever heard of him? Hugh Lane was so impressed by the exhibition that he began a campaign to establish a gallery of modern art here in Dublin. To further his campaign in 1904, Lane organised the first ever exhibition of contemporary Irish art abroad in London, and it was a big success. And from that, he decided to ask famous Irish artists to donate work to kick off his own collection, as well as commissioning new paintings and donating stuff from his own collection, including work by Manet, Degas and Renoir, all absolutely top French Impressionists. Matt is also an absolutely top French Impressionist. Matt, can we hear some of your French impressions now?
Oui. I do question if they were really top artists, because if they were, they'd be Ninja Turtles. So
That is true.
It's a very good point. It's a very good point.
If you're not part of the Big Four, who are you?
Yeah.
So he opened the Municipal Gallery of Modern Art in Dublin in 1908. The following year, he was knighted at the age of just 33. And in 1914, he was appointed director of the National Gallery of Ireland. So everything was going well. But sadly, all good things must come to an end. On May 1st, 1915, Lane, as well as 1,958 other people, boarded the RMS Lusitania in New York City.
They know what happens, but I do not. It sounds bad.
They're going to have a good time.
Oh, nice. A cruise? Lovely.
They were bound for Liverpool. Lane had been to New York on business, selling 2 paintings to a wealthy industrialist. This was 1915, so during World War I, Germany had declared it would open fire on any ship, military or otherwise, that it encountered outside the British Isles. The German embassy even published a warning notice in 50 US newspapers, warning travellers of the risk of crossing the Atlantic. These ads sometimes ran opposite pages advertising the Lusitania cruise. Imagine a double-page spread. Come! It's a beautiful cruise over here. We will destroy that cruise. Crazy. But thankfully, you're happy to hear this, Jess. The journey went off without a hitch, and she was nearing the end of her journey, just 11.5 miles or 19 kilometres off the old head of Kinsale, the south of Cork, when she was spotted by a German U-boat, which is basically a submarine. The U-boat fired 1, possibly 2 torpedoes. It's very debated. I got lost in the debate about it. Into the side of the Lusitania. For the passengers and crew, the attack came from nowhere. One passenger said, quote, "It sounded like a 1,000,000-ton hammer hitting a steam boiler 100 feet high," which is a very specific description. How do you know what that sounds like?
Suspiciously specific.
Okay.
That was hard to say.
With a giant hole in her side. The Lusitania sank in just 18 minutes. And of the 1,959 people on board, 1,198 were killed, including our main man, Hugh Lane.
Sorry, just to wind back a sec. 18 minutes.
18 minutes. Would you prefer...
2 more or 3 less.
You prefer...
Sink faster or slower.
Honestly, I don't think boats sort of adhere to that rule.
Well, they should.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Just take 20.
That's a very good
Just
point.
hold
I
on,
can't argue with
slightly
that.
longer.
Just take 20.
Just take
You
20.
fucking boat.
You dumb boat.
Yeah.
Lane was dead, and he had a large collection of art. In his will, he left 39 paintings to, quote...
Oh, no.
You don't have one more
Sorry.
lying around.
In his will, he left, quote, 40 paintings...
Thank you.
...to the people of Ireland. This is known as the Hugh Lane Collection. Many of these 39 or 40 paintings were considered significant, and it was fantastic news for all of Ireland.
So you guys just like take turns,
Yeah.
just like share it around, have it at your house for a certain period of time. That's awesome. That's great.
But there was one problem. Hugh Lane hadn't had anyone witness the will.
One problem. Make it 4 more problems. Should explain. Oh, no, I was about to explain to the enthusiastic people who've never seen the show before, but they have left. They are not there.
While we're doing it, okay. They're coming back.
Jess has got a weird thing about numbers or something. I don't really get it either.
I don't
But
really
you
understand it
probably
either.
piece that together.
Yeah.
Fancy looking drink.
You want us to stop addressing you a lot? Because, yeah, okay.
The way you're covering your face makes it look like you don't want us to be talking to you right now.
And we're reading that, we're seeing that in you, and
You're
we're
being
responding to
seen
that with
right
empathy,
now.
yeah.
Okay,
We
so
understand,
we're gonna
we
stop.
get it. We're going to stop that. We're going to stop talking to you.
Okay?
Because we know it's making you uncomfortable. We don't want
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah, where are you from? What's your name?
Yeah.
Let's bring her up on stage.
No.
I was kidding.
No.
Absolutely kidding.
Leave her alone.
Don't worry.
So sorry about that.
So what should we call you?
It'd be easier to apologise to someone with a name.
On stage. All right.
All right. So his will hadn't been witnessed, meaning that a previous will was considered legitimate. The previous will was made in 1913 when, after his plans for a new gallery in Ireland were rejected, things got pretty nasty. Lane cracked it and organised instead to donate his collection to the National Gallery in London. Oops.
It's almost too easy. It's like you say anything like Ireland and they're like, whoa! Okay.
And this next bit's going to really piss you off. So the National Gallery agreed to accept them, but not right away, but soon. They also made note that they didn't think many of the paintings were worth hanging, turning up their noses at paintings by Monet and Renoir. Yeah, they really know a good thing, those English.
Yeah. They're just little dots.
And this is why most people think Lane went back on the agreement and changed his will back to leave the paintings to Ireland, on the condition a suitable gallery be built to house them. But now Lane was dead, the National Gallery were more than happy to take the previously unhangable paintings off his cold, dead hands. So they put them on display at the famous Tate Gallery. Understandably, there was uproar in Ireland, people claiming that Lane had said to many people that he wanted the paintings to stay in his home country. But sadly for you, the law was on the side of the English. I've literally got written here, pause for booing.
He really does. He's in your heads.
So London put the paintings on display and argued that if Lane had seen the extension of the Tate Gallery, he would have changed his mind and wanted them displayed there anyway. As you can hear here, Jess, the English gallery continued to show the paintings, but some Irish would never forget. So 41 years go past and we cut to 1956. We meet 21-year-old Dubliner Paul Hogan.
What? What's that?
We meet 21-year-old Dubliner Paul Hogan.
Paul Hogan.
Paul Hogan.
Paul Hogan.
Yeah.
Paul Hogan.
You've got your own Hogs over here. Wow. Did he also paint the Sydney Harbour Bridge? Yeah, good local references. All right, here we go.
So we got the original Paul Hogan, some call him.
Oh, I don't know about that.
And his mate Billy.
I reckon our Hogan was alive then.
Yeah.
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 Let's have a Hogs off.
Yes. All right. We'll listen about this Paul Hogan,
Yeah.
and we'll decide who's the better Paul Hogan.
Yeah. Let's find out which one played Crocodile Dundee.
Let's find out.
Let's find out who played Croc Dundee better. I reckon it was our one.
That's not a Hogan. This is a Hogan. I mean, all you got to do is bag the English and say lines from films. I'm flying, Jack. Doesn't need context. So Paul Hogan and his mate Billy Fogarty from Galway. Sure, it had been 4 decades, but Hogan wasn't going to let the injustice slide any longer. He was an art student and used this to be able to get closer to the paintings. He and his mate Fogarty cased the Tate Gallery whilst pretending to sketch the very paintings they were planning to steal. They settled on Roi de Tête, or Summer's Day by French impressionist Bertha Morisot.
Just say Summer's Day then, I reckon.
I mean...
Don't attempt.
I should have tried. Well, I did, and
You
I
did.
failed.
You failed miserably.
I shouldn't have failed, is what I mean. Painted in 1879, it depicts 2 women seated in a boat, and at the time was worth £10,000. Nothing to scoff at in the 50s. These days, it's worth about £8 million.
Oh, that's a lot of pounds.
It's not very big.
That's about $1 trillion Australian dollars.
Yeah, it really is.
It's fucked if I know. We don't know if the mic picked that up, but that was "You're not in England now," and my retort is, "We never were." We haven't been there yet. So it's not a big painting either. It's 45 by 75 centimetres. Hogan's plan was to grab the painting off the wall and then run towards the gallery's exit with it under his arm. This is some real Ocean's 11 bullshit. All right, I'm going to grab it. I'm going to run at a door.
He was sure he'd be stopped, but he knew the incident would get the conversation about the proper place of the paintings kick-started, so he hired a photographer to stand there and take his photo as he attempted to steal it.
Yeah, great.
He's a PR man. So he grabbed the painting and walked towards the exit as planned. But nobody stopped him. He walked out of the building and still no one stopped him. Suddenly, he was outside with a painting under his arm, which was famously caught on camera because he had the friend taking the photo. But he hadn't planned for this. He had no idea what to do. He planned for the photographer to catch him being arrested or fighting off security, not just casually strolling down a London street with a painting under his arm. The 2 Irish kids had no real knowledge of London, so they got into a black cab and asked them to take them to the first place that they could think of, which was Piccadilly Circus. Luckily, the night before, Hogan had met an Irish lass at a bar, a girl called Martha, and they went around to her flat and she agreed to let them hide the painting under her bed. You're right, it's real Ocean's 11 stuff. Meanwhile, the crime was reported and the photo of Hogan running down the steps with the painting under his arm was in newspapers across the country. The officer in charge of the investigation was a certain DCI McGrath, an Irish police officer who... Did you just boo? Is it because he's a police officer? Or because his name's McGrath? That's very specific.
Police officer in England.
Oh, that is quite specific. McGrath had experience with this kind of cases. A few years earlier, he solved what is the funniest sounding case of all time to me, the case of the missing stone of Scone. Where 4 Scottish students had removed the stone of Scone.
It's actually the stone of Scone. This fucking guy.
Anyway, on the run, the 2 Irish lads asked Mary, who I called Martha before, anyway, to leave the painting at the Irish Embassy in London, and it was soon returned to the Tate Gallery. The boys were still on the run, though, until Irish cop DCI McGrath discovered that the pair were making a run for the Liverpool Ferry. And ferry.
Yeah, that's very different. The Liverpool Ferry.
And you know, the McGrath is a good cop because he called up Paul's mother and told her that he was deciding to let them go.
Oh, I need it.
He didn't catch him.
Just being a hero. Yep, I decided to let him go. It was on me. I made that call. Yep, always the plan.
These days, the paintings are still technically owned by the Tate, but they have come to a compromise with the Hugh Lane Gallery here in Dublin. 31 of Lane's 39 paintings have been on long-term... I'm so sorry. I've been on long-term loan to the Hugh Lane Gallery here in London, whilst the real jewels in the collection, including the Manets, the Degas, Pizarros and Monets, travel back and forth between Dublin and London every 6 years.
Oh, that was about to sound impressive. If it was months, weeks, days, hours, minutes, seconds, then I'm impressed. Years... You may as well not have said that.
You want it to be every 6 minutes?
You've wasted that's noteworthy.
That's interesting.
Yes.
What are the logistics of that?
Whoa.
Tell me more. Six
shit.
years. Fine, okay.
What if I told you the most recent rotation was but 2 months ago?
All right.
Thanks for going with me. I needed that. But that's the story of the Hugh Lane painting robbery.
Dave Warnicky.
Thank you.
Not a bad little tale. You know, if you're into that sort of children's play. But now we're going to get a little more adult.
I'm so scared. What have you picked?
Yeah, the Irish Mr. Hands, all right. Instead of a horse, it's an Irish horse. I feel like there's nowhere but Dublin where hecklers are funny. That's just like, it doesn't happen anywhere else.
Everywhere else,
Everywhere else are like,
the worst.
Oh, mate, shut the fuck up. But here it's like, oh, mate, please shut up. We're trying to be funnier than you.
You're embarrassing us.
My question to get us on topic is, what boozy disaster in Dublin claimed the lives of 13 people in the 19th century? So a cheerful tale, yes.
Boozy disaster.
I'll give you a clue. It's 4 words. The first 2 are the Dublin.
Okay. Okay, we've got half,
The
yes.
third is a type of alcohol, and the fourth is a type of disaster.
We have a few hours.
Whiskey.
Yes?
Oh. Okay, now a type of what?
Disaster.
Oh, please tell me it's tsunami.
Tornado.
That'd be amazing.
It's not far off, but it's also a mile off, but yeah. The Dublin, whiskey... Yeah, both of those are true.
Massacre.
Dublin whiskey massacre.
That'd be amazing. I heard fire. Did someone say fire?
Fire's right,
Oh!
yes. Flood is also right, strangely. Yeah, it's
Okay.
a fire flood. This was suggested by Rob from Dublin. Rob, you in? There's a Rob here.
Happy to claim it.
Yep.
Okay, well, the story begins around 8 p.m. on the 18th of June, 1875, in the Liberties, which is just 2 kilometres from here. We walked through it yesterday. You wondered why? Well, this is why.
And also because you said, my topic's from around here. And we went, all right.
So, in the Liberties, at Reed's Malt House and Malone's Bonded Warehouse on Chamber Street, they both caught fire.
Okay, so is that...
Yeah, that's
So there was
that's
a
the crux
fire,
of it. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm going to go into more detail, but that's basically the story.
Okay.
According to a report in the Illustrated London News at the time, boo, the...
Yeah, we hate illustrations here. Just give us the words. We can make it up in our minds.
There's something wrong with you.
Apologies in advance for the currency, but at the time, I'm afraid you were using the pound, so... Yeah, I know. Hey, look, I'm sorry. It was a dark few centuries there where those cunts... All right.
I reckon we could get this crowd to, like, kill people if we wanted to. It's him, he did it!
So this is a quote from a news report at the time. The former, talking about Malone's bonded warehouse and Reed's malt house.
So is it a haunted warehouse or bonted?
Bonded, I don't know what it means, but it said that in every source. It called it Malone's bonded warehouse.
That sounds like a terrible infomercial. Come on down to Malone's bonded warehouse.
Anyway, the former had around 2,000 pounds worth of malt in it, and the latter, which immediately adjoins it, had 5,000 barrels of whiskey worth 54,000 pounds.
One more thousand.
Well, back then, that was what it was worth. The Irish Examiner estimates the modern equivalent to be 6.5 million in the correct euros. The fire ripped through the...
Imagine applauding your currency. Imagine. I've never, ever heard someone say Australian dollars and just, like, cried. I've never done it. Never. I have not lived, obviously. I've not lived. I mean, didn't
sorry,
we
when
have
you just said
pounds?
Australian dollar, Ben. I'm sorry. I must go on.
I must. Hey, Matt, just think about little 5-cent pieces.
Oh my god.
They're so cute.
They got the little echidnas on them?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Dingoes?
No. Echidnas.
Wallabies. Alright, the fire ripped through the... Started that sentence with a lot of gusto.
Wrong tone.
Wrong tone. The fire ripped through the properties, bursting open the casks that held the booze.
I think it should be bursting open the cask.
This sent a river of whiskey cascading onto the surrounding streets.
Proud of those Irish streets.
Yeah.
The whiskey was on fire and flowed like hot lava through the streets.
Oh, that's not good.
Before the fire brigade arrived to try and deal with it, crowds already gathered around collecting the liquor in any vessel they could find.
They're emptying the fishbowl to, like...
They brought pots, buckets, jars, and failing that, used their hats.
Is the liquid still on fire?
Yes.
You got your hat trying to scoop up fire.
Within hours, fire had torn through the houses down one side of Mill Street. Shops went as well, including a tannery, leading to an overbearing stench of burnt leather in the air.
Oh, there's only one thing worse than that, and that's burnt pleather. And I say that from experience. A lot of friction.
No, you're on a timeout for that one. Turn that way. Come on. I don't say anything gross. Stop pointing at the nice people.
Sorry.
The fire was heading straight for the Coombe Maternity Hospital. Am I saying that right? Coombe? Yep. Someone gave me a slight note there.
Yeah.
Coombe. Is that right? So I was heading straight for that maternity hospital before a change in the direction of the wind saved it. Apparently the papers at the time called this an act of God, though as an historian and former Dublin firefighter Lass Fallon observed that the same act of God destroyed a row of houses opposite.
He works in mysterious ways. You know?
Dublin in 1875 looked very different than it does now, and apparently many...
Yeah, it looked on fire.
And they had pounds.
Ugh, yuck. And apparently many people kept livestock back then, and as the Examiner writes, the presence of cart horses and pigs maddened by heat added further to the pandemonium.
Oh, no.
The pigs are maddened by heat.
Actually, I'm a bit like that. If I get too hot, I shut down. That's not funny. It's just the truth about me.
Let him in. That's real nice.
Yeah, I'm being vulnerable in the space.
As well as the barnyard animals, there were many dogs kept as pets. Different time. One such dog reportedly took its own life.
Okay, now you're on a timeout. We're all just going to sit here in silence for a bit.
Dare I ask how?
Let me tell you. The Irish Times reported that the case of canine suicide occurred when, quote, a dog ran through an open door of the home of William Eyre on Dominic Street Upper. The animal was foaming at the mouth and evidently either rabid or suffering from delirium tremens at the hands of the lapped-up whiskey. The paper goes on. The dog dashed madly about the house, knocking over furniture and attacking the homeowner. When Mr. Eyre fended the dog off using an iron bar, the animal ran upstairs, jumped from the top floor window, and, quote, terminated its existence in the road below. I wasn't sure whether or not to include that.
And how do you feel about that decision now?
Justified.
Yeah.
Does anyone get the feeling that Mr. Eyre has thrown a dog out a window?
I tried. I don't know.
It jumped.
It jumped. It was crazy.
I tried to save it with an iron bar, and even that wasn't enough.
That's fucked.
Amongst all the chaos, many of those collecting the alcohol were drinking it there and then.
Why? It's like when you get flaming shots.
Yeah. Remember to blow them out.
Yeah, you got to blow that out.
Newspaper reports at the time spoke of two porters named Healy and McNulty being found, quote, lying insensible in a lane off Cork Street with their boots laying beside them. Evidently, they had used their footwear as receptacles. Shoeies. Dave, show them the shoey. Do a shoey, Australian tradition.
I am not doing a shoey.
Do you even call yourself Australian?
No. These are the finest pleather money can buy.
That's right, you will regret that. He went real sheepish there, it was the best. I did my mum face. Is that right? Oh, is that right?
Yeah, you want to have a think about what you just
Oh,
said?
is that right? Oh, yeah. Oh, is that a good idea, was it?
I'm
God,
a
I
bit
just channeled my mum.
A bit disappointed, actually. Go to your room. The Dublin Fire Brigade was led by Captain James Robert Ingram. He was experienced and had previously... I can't believe he didn't get a round of applause. He's a bloody goddamn Dublin hero. He was experienced and had previously worked for the New York Fire Department. He was a Dublin man, but he went over and worked in New York and then came back to head up the Dublin Fire Department. Ingram was known for his unconventional strategies. Apparently, when a ship was on fire in Dublin Harbour, he put out the fire by having the ship sunk.
It is literally surrounded by water. It makes sense.
Problem solved. Next.
I like this.
Yeah, I like it too.
I like his thinking.
Wonder if that, he probably couldn't have dealt with many fires that way. Yeah.
They're like, and the boat's like, it's a kitchen fire. Did you have to sink the whole thing? Yeah. Well, yeah.
I work in mysterious ways. In this scenario, Ingram, with the whiskey fire, Ingram knew that he couldn't simply put the fire out with water. Downtown Dublin was too big to drop in the ocean. So
he tried. By God, he tried.
But also he knew that if he hosed the fire, the water would just sink below the flaming whiskey, and all of a sudden the fire whiskey would be floating faster through the streets.
Yeah, right.
So luckily he was smart enough to know that, because other people in the town were trying to put it out with water, and it was just making the fire spread quicker. Instead, he used things like gravel, sand, and even horse manure. He ordered that all the horse manure in the city be brought to the Liberties, where it was used to create dams, and it successfully started soaking up the burning river of whiskey.
So now it smells like burning shit.
Burning whiskey shit.
Oh, we've all had one of those. We've all been there.
Flashing forward to my morning tomorrow.
On the way here, our cab driver was complaining about when he went on a Scandinavian cruise that when the lady found out that he was Irish, she said, "Oh, you'll be wanting to upgrade the drinks package then?" He's like, "We're not all drunks." I'm starting to think that he was lying.
He also called, and he taught us this word. He called that woman.
You better say it properly.
A gobshite. And it's honestly, that's in my top 5 words now.
Just after Glockenspiel for me.
He was telling us about an American lady who had done an impression of an Irish person, and he said, "Oh, you're sounding like a gobshite." And she said, "What's that?" And he said, "Well, you're being one now." This is the same car I was talking about earlier that had a thing in the back saying how to ride in a limousine.
Yeah, we travel in style.
Yeah.
It took hundreds of members of the police force, army, and fire brigade to get the fire under control.
Are they just shitting in the street now? Or?
Yeah.
You do what you gotta do.
The police horses have been called in. The fire horses.
Yeah.
The army horses, and yep, that's all of them. Just the horses, race horses.
Yeah.
My Little Pony Club. You know, all of them were in there, shitting everywhere, and it was
beautiful.
Brought a tear to your Irish eye. But those groups were later commended for their bravery. The damage done was extensive, though, with buildings on Mill Street, Ardee Street, Chamber Street, and Cork Street all destroyed, as well as many nearby businesses. On top of this, of the 5,000 barrels of liquor, only 61 were recovered. Most of them going in the fire, but some disappearing under suspicious circumstances. With the Irish Times saying at the time, 3 casks were rolled into the Coombe, and the result was that 6 men were arrested in a beastly state of intoxication. Oh, which I'm
bordering on, yeah.
Yeah. Several more being conveyed to hospital, so they were dropping. 13 people died during the fire.
How many dogs?
Countless dogs. Oh. At the time, Lord Mayor Peter Paul McSwiney told an which I assume was a pig. Peter Paul McSwiney told an assembled meeting it was amazing the death toll wasn't higher. Of the deaths, none resulted from the flames or even smoke inhalation. Instead, as the Irish Times reported, each succumbed to alcohol poisoning. From drinking, quote, freely of the derelict whiskey. Mayor McSwiney said the alcohol-related deaths would have likely happened in, quote, any city where the...
Hey, it would have happened anywhere, all right? He's drunk right now.
Any city where there was a tendency to indulge immoderately in drink. I reckon Melbourne would be in trouble. In the present case, the unfortunate... This is still him quoting him. In the present case, the unfortunate victims apparently could not restrain themselves, as I understand, from the burning fluid. And that is the end of my report.
Matt Stewart, everybody.
Anyone got a lot?
That's the best. Okay, I'm going to bring it home now. And I never write a question, and I didn't this time either. But this topic has been suggested by someone who I'm pretty sure is here, Derek Hogan. Derek? Oh, okay. Oh, my friend. All right.
It was the chatty Cathy over there.
Fucking Derek. Yeah, all right, yeah, okay.
It's not too late to change your topic.
Yeah, I think I'll just riff it. No, you're great, Derek. No, but when he suggested it, Derek wrote, specifically for the Irish live show, a lot of people aren't aware of the story behind our most famous export, and then in brackets he wrote, that isn't Bono. Well, you're going to hate this because I'm doing Bono. Strap in, cunts! I'm so sorry. I'm very sorry.
I can't wait to hear about The Edge. Let's hear about... or one of the other two. The Edge is English? Fuck off. Do you know that?
I didn't, and I wrote this report. But it's not about The Edge, to be fair.
He's so on the edge of Ireland, he's English.
We should do more shows very late at night.
What time is it?
It's like 10. You're now cheering for the concept of time. This is insane, and I love it.
I'm pretty sure they were cheering me getting naked.
No, they weren't.
That's my hip.
I'm going to go quickly through this because we are over time, and also they hate Bono.
Is that true? Do you really dislike Bono? Yeah! I mean... Are you talking to me?
Or answering the question.
Wanker, you brought up Bono!
Guys, I mean, you sounded pretty upset with Bono, but what do you got to remember? He moves in mysterious ways.
I'm gonna just breeze through it.
Oh man, I'm excited.
So yeah, all right. His name's Paul. Paul David Hewson. Are you booing Paul now? Anyone who's Paul? Boo Earns. He was born here in Dublin in 1960, and his mother, Iris, was a member of the Church of Ireland, and his father, Brendan, was Roman Catholic, and they agreed that their first child would be raised Anglican and the second Catholic, the logistics of which baffle me. What the fuck does their Sunday look like?
So his mother was...
I didn't hear that, but they didn't like it.
His mother was an Irish woman named Iris from the Church of Ireland.
Yes.
That's pretty fucking Irish. Iris from Irish. Ireland. Irish.
Don't do the accent.
I wasn't doing the accent.
It doesn't end well when you do that.
My mum was actually an O'Connor, so it's okay.
All right, mate. Thought you were 1/8 Swiss Italian.
No, it's 1/16, I believe.
You really pick and choose.
Yeah, well, I'm many 16ths. I once, the first time I travelled, I was backpacking and I was in Prague and I was in a dorm with an Irish person. I said, oh, most of my heritage is from Ireland. And she said, who gives a fuck?
It's a very good point. It's a very good point.
Apparently Irish people get that all the time.
So much. Too much. But have we mentioned that we both have Irish heritage? So...
I don't.
We know, German. Did you know that growing up, Bono and his friends were part of a surrealist street gang?
Oh, yeah, and I'm starting to hate him as well.
What the fuck is a surrealist street gang?
Do you know what that is?
Nah. Just sounded dumb. Like a lot of teenagers, they love to give each other nicknames. Matt, do you want to have a go at this one?
Oh.
This is Bono's first nickname.
Stein Heg Van Hysenol Bang Bang Bang.
That's catchy.
Yeah, it is, but it didn't stick for some reason. Then it got followed by Houseman, Bon Murray, Bono Vox of O'Connell Street, and finally just Bono. It's going to be a long night if we... Just let me get through and we can all get the fuck out of here.
Bono Vox means something like boy vocals or something, right?
Good voice.
Good voice.
Good voice. And it was actually...
Well, when I say boy, same as good. Women, bad. Sorry, as a feminist, I'm allowed to make that joke. Probably the best feminist in the room, to be honest, so lean in, ladies. Let's hear what I've got to say.
There's a little bit of a regret face. Just for you. All right, so in the mid-70s, he and his friends, David Evans, The Edge, his brother Dick, and Adam Clayton... Are you cheering Dick? I don't get this place. I love it so much. They saw an ad on a bulletin board posted by a guy called Larry Mullen Jr. looking for people to form a rock band, and the group got together for occasional jam sessions, but they weren't very good at covering other bands, so they decided to write their own songs. They're not good at playing already written songs, so they thought, we'll just write our own then.
That is classic Larry Mullins Jr.
Classic. They named their band Feedback, but they changed it after a few months due to some negative criticism. I'll be honest, when I wrote that, I was alone in my house and I typed it and I went, worth it. No one was around. I was like, there's no one to check with.
It'd be weird if you turned around and there was someone there.
Before you kill me, hear this.
What do you think of this joke? It may be my legacy. So they changed their name to The Hype until Dick Evans left the band to form another band, Virgin Prunes.
Wow, these are all awful.
Yep.
The Hype is actually worse than Virgin Prunes, I reckon.
Yeah. And then when Dick left the band, they changed their name to U2. Yeah.
We've got some fans of The Hype here.
And I've got a beautiful quote here as well, because Bono took to writing the songs and he was playing the guitar. And in an interview in 1982, he said, "When we started out, I was the guitar player along with The Edge, except I couldn't play guitar. I still can't. I was such a lousy guitar player that one day they broke it to me that maybe I should sing instead. I had tried before, but I had no voice at all. I remember the day I found I could sing. I said, 'Oh, that's how you do it.'" This guy's a billionaire. Can't string together a sentence. That's why you hate him. It's tall poppy syndrome, I get it. He'll still occasionally play rhythm guitar or harmonica. Oh, who cares? Okay, so anyway, back to 1978. U2 won a talent contest in Limerick. I can't...
City.
Just... Meh. Oh, I've just made the screen go weird.
It's the Bono
There we
curse.
go. They won a talent contest, and the prize consisted of, I don't want to say the currency.
Oh no, not dong. Not dong.
Not mousy dong. Which I believe. What country uses mousy dong as currency?
Vietnamese dong.
Oh, dong. That's hot. I love that.
You love dong?
I love dong.
All right. They won...
Hang on a sec.
They won £500 and studio time.
How many dollars do?
I don't know, that's probably 40 grand. I don't know. God, we suck. And they also want some studio time so they could go record a demo. And so they went to record their demo tape at Keystone Studios in Dublin in April of 1978, and it was no good. Their demo was very bad. Still are. And because they were young and they were really nervous, so they didn't do a great job. But luckily, they were introduced to Paul McGuinness, who agreed to be their manager the following year, and they continued to build their fan base with performances across Ireland. But I'm not just talking about U2 today. I'm talking about Bono, whom we love.
Isn't we? They're so patriotic about everything Irish. Everything.
Euros. Bono. It's so confusing.
Name another Irish person. You can't.
You can't.
You can't do it.
Enya.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's great. I should have done Enya. Damn it. A certain...
Actually, only 14, 16,
Yeah.
so... What
other
about Harry Keane or something? Larry Keane. Robbie Keane. Yep. Big fan of his. Big fan of Robbie Keane. The things he could do with the ball. Go the St. Patrick's Saints, all right. Which are a local team in one of the sporting competitions.
This is something that you'll enjoy.
Okay, please do go on.
There was a bit of a shift in U2's sound and focus with their 1991 album. Do you happen to remember what album?
Achtung, baby! As a guess, that's
I
what
just
it would
wanted
be.
you to say Achtung, baby. Why do I keep fucking up
Which
my
is
screen?
actually a very German phrase, Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That means, get out of here, baby! Something like that, I think.
Something to that effect.
I can confirm that because I am definitely German.
Loosely translated. When they were on tour with this album, Bono appeared on stage in character as a few of his stage personas. Let me tell you about them now.
One of them's called like Mayor McFeast. Mayor McCheese? There's one where he wears devil's horns and he's like Grimace.
How about I just tell you about it? How about that?
Birdie. No,
right.
It's the Riddler. The Hamburglar. Fun Buttons McGee. Am I getting close?
I don't know. How about I tell you about them and then you tell me which one of those you were thinking of?
It's something like Mayor McNasty or something.
No.
I hope he plays the Edge's dad. Just starts telling off the Edge. Go to bed, Edge. Go to bed. Just plays one note for solid 4 minutes. That's what they do, isn't it?
Yeah, basically. No, so his character, well, one of them was The Fly, a leather-clad egomaniac.
It was a character.
Yeah, it was a parody. He was parodying rock stardom. He often stayed in character away from the tour. He's a method
For
dickhead.
several years at a time.
Including for public appearances and when staying in hotels. He said, that rather cracked character could say things that I couldn't. Well, you did, though, didn't you? You did say them. But then the next character was Mirabal Man.
You're kidding.
Good names, too. Mirabal Man. He wore a shining silver suit with matching shoes and a cowboy hat. And he was a parody of greedy American televangelists, showmen, and car salesmen, all in one.
That's efficient.
He's taken them all. And he said that character represented the kind of showman America. He had the confidence and charm to pick up a mirror and look at himself and give the glass a big kiss. I think he's lost it.
And this is in 1991.
Yeah. But then... okay, maybe this is what you were thinking of. Mirabal Man was replaced by McFeisto.
Yeah, that's him. Man
It's a
McFeisto.
parody of the devil.
Yes, that's him.
Okay.
If you see video of it, it's hard to watch.
Yeah, it sounds like it was... He wore a gold suit with gold platform shoes, pale makeup, lipstick, and devil horns. And he spoke with an exaggerated upper-class English accent. character, he would sing the closing song, Can't Help Falling in Love, with an oddly childlike manner that many reviewers found one of the most poignant moments of the show. I don't know if that's
They
true
were
at
on
all.
top of the world. At this point, they could do no wrong.
Yeah.
All of this stuff, it's like, when you're on fire, literally, and people will not piss on you. This is like, it's much like that. But he just, people wouldn't tell him no, I reckon.
Yeah, so
No ideas were bad ideas then.
This is a man
Even though all of them sound like they were.
Yeah, they're all bad ideas, but this is a man who has won 22 Grammys. Terrifying.
3 more or 2 less. Am I doing it right?
Yeah, you get it. Yeah, fuck, I didn't even realise that. If you hadn't brought that up, I could have just gone on with my day.
22, it's a nice number.
And also, in 2008, Rolling Stone ranked Bono the 32nd greatest singer of all time. 32.
Yeah.
32, lads.
Yeah. Top 32.
Yeah.
Top 32 is pretty good.
47 at a push.
3 more.
Oh, we're going to start a riot. Just breezing through. Did you know Bono and The Edge also wrote the music and lyrics for the Broadway musical Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark?
Yeah. I hear it went really well.
Why?
They also, do you know they wrote the GoldenEye theme song? Dun 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 dun. Thank you. And then it's got this horrible fake horn sound that sounds like this. Oh, terrible.
That sounded great.
Thank you.
You got a beautiful voice.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm actually the 33rd best singer.
On this podcast,
Yeah. That's
That
true.
is true, yeah.
It's true.
Okay, this is maybe my favourite thing I've ever read. In 2016, Glamour magazine's annual Woman of the Year accolade was a little different, with them also awarding Bono the title of Man of the Year. No, let's hear them out. Let's hear what Glamour had to say about this.
Are you sure he wasn't Mirabal Man of the Year?
Mirabal Man of the Year. This is what Glamour said. They said, for the first time, the awards also honour a man.
Yeah, about time.
For years, our Woman of the Year Advisory Board has put the kibosh on naming a Man of the Year on the grounds that men aren't exactly hurting for awards in the world, but that here at Glamour, the tribe we're into celebrating is female. But these days, most women want men, no, need men in our tribe. When the president declared himself a feminist, when super cool actors line up to endorse the United Nations #HeForShe campaign, and when a major male rock star who could do anything at all with his life decides to focus on the rights of women and girls worldwide, well, all that's worth celebrating. We're proud to name that rock star Bono is our first Man of the Year. Why?
That is...
Should have been Hugh Lane. It was a good year for him, 2016, I think.
That is outrageous.
Isn't that just so weird that they justify it like that? It's just like, we just need men.
We need men, and we need Bono.
Specifically.
That's so weird.
But anyway,
I have no problem with any of that.
as a feminist here, you get it. But finally, just to wrap it up, I skipped a big chunk there because I felt your distaste. I read it. And I went, well, I got to speak for a bit anyway, so I'm going to. But to bring it all together, in an interview earlier this year, when asked about his achievements, Bono said that even after decades of performing to huge crowds all around the world, fighting injustice, raising a family, being Bono,
Avoiding taxes.
Avoiding taxes. Yep.
Did you hear what he said?
Yeah.
Was it good?
It might have fucked my punchline, to be honest.
Hey, guys, it would really help me out if you make it look like I didn't fuck the punchline. I'm going to get my ass kicked later.
That's true. So even after all these decades of achievements and everything that he's done, he said that he still hasn't found what he's looking for.
Dave, I got to tell you, what you just did was not the sweetest thing.
That was a beautiful line.
Fuck you, Dave.
That was a beautiful line.
That's it. That's my report on Bono.
Can we please have a round of applause?
I'm sorry.
And can we just say you were technically cheering Bono in that moment?
It's a Dublin guy. That's amazing. He's a prick, Bono. He's Dublin's prick. Does he fuck? Is he fuck? Good question. Is
that one of his characters? Fuck.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Is he fuck?
Is he fuck?
What does that mean?
I don't know.
It's not grammatically correct. Makes no sense. Is he fuck?
I'll tell
What
you
is
what.
that?
Jess, you asking that question makes you sound like a real gobshite.
Well, I guess that does just about bring us to the end of the show. Thank you so much for coming out, hanging out. Pardon? Oh, thank you. I thought you were telling... I really appreciate that. Thank you. I thought you were giving me notes on how to thank you. You should say thank you for coming. Which we agree. Thank you so much for coming out to the Sugar Club. What a great venue, by the way. This is very cool. Seriously appreciate you being here. First ever time for us doing a show in Ireland, and you came out and packed it out. We do appreciate that so much.
It's crazy to us that we get to come here and do this show for you. So thank you so much for coming out. Give yourselves another round of applause. Thank you.
And that does bring us to the end of the show. So for another week, thank you so much. And until next time, I'll say thank you and goodbye!
Wow, what an episode. That was so good.
Oh, man.
Wild with a capital Wild.
It was nice that we sat here as well and re-listened to it in full together.
Wow.
Holding hands.
I only laughed at my own jokes. None of yours.
No, I know. I noticed that, and it hurt twice.
Yeah, twice as nice.
Yeah.
I like it when Dave hurts me.
But let's be genuine for one moment. We
No.
are recording this
Yeah.
in Leeds, our 3 shows of the Krishmish tour under our belt. And we've met a lot of people already, and we just want to say thank you to everyone that's come out to the shows.
Man, it's been so lovely meeting everyone, and God, you do know how to line up in the UK, you know?
They know how to queue.
They know how to queue.
Great queuers.
They
Great
form an
queuers.
orderly line, and they chat to us, and they're absolutely lovely. So big thank you to everybody who's come out and supported
Makes
the show.
sense. The QR is from here, so
Okay.
it all adds up. Is that a pun?
We're still not sure.
Probably.
Still not sure. No
Someone
idea.
explained it to me tonight, and I've already kind of forgotten. He made it sound both simple and complex.
Exactly. The English. But yeah, no, it's been really nice, so we appreciate it very much.
And that Dublin crowd was one of the rowdiest crowds, well, probably the rowdiest crowd we've ever performed to, and that was fun.
That was so fun.
Walking out to that wall of sound hitting you, of them just screaming.
It's a shame that we didn't really capture it very well on the recording, because actually a couple people died, and I don't think you could hear that in recording, but it was that loud that 2 or more people died.
Their eardrums burst,
Yeah.
and then after that, their heart exploded.
Yeah, and I exploded, and I got reformed by their love.
It was amazing.
It was amazing. If you weren't there to see it,
Honestly,
I'm now reformed. So,
and honestly, he's a lot nicer.
yeah. Actually, it was a whole new thing for
Are
me.
you born again?
I'm a born-again
Matt.
Matt. Matt Stin.
You too can be a born again Matt at mattstewartcomedy.com.
What can you do there?
The weirdest plug I've ever
Yeah,
had, and I appreciate it.
Sign up some beautiful audio books you've been selling. You preaching the good preach.
Well,
You should do an audiobook.
I would love to do an audiobook. I should write a book,
Hey,
and then I'll turn it into an audio.
in a way, isn't podcasting an audiobook?
Unscripted audiobooks.
Oh my god!
This is an improvised
It's an
audiobook.
improvised audiobook. I'm doing it. It's happening.
Oh my god, it's
Is
so
this
nice.
it? Am I in the
It's
middle
so
of an
nice
audiobook?
to watch you live your dream.
Oh my god! It feels so good to be in my dream.
Chapter 214.
So many chapters.
3 different local breweries gave me beers tonight.
Yeah.
I had to take a few of them back with me, and they are delicious.
Is there a time where you pinched yourself and thought, have I died and gone to heaven?
I couldn't believe it. Leeds is like some beer lover's heaven.
Leeds is it's so nice. It's such a cool city.
Mm.
City? Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a big place.
Mm.
It's a beautiful town.
Beautiful. Can't
when
wait to
that-
explore it.
When that kid or woman or person in the crowd said, Leeds, that was real fun.
That was great.
That was culture.
Mm.
I was thinking that I was referencing something from the show they just heard, but that was something from the show we just did.
We
And
just did.
And you may hear that in the coming weeks.
Yes, there's a little bit of sizzle for you.
Unless the tape is lost.
Oh. Did something go wrong or?
Could have.
Oh. You've just been aloof.
Well,
Is everything all right?
For a cost, I could maybe find that tape again.
You want me to pay you?
Are you trying to blackmail us? I mean, it would be terrible if that tape were to catch fire, wouldn't it?
It would be it'd be a real shame
A
if
real shame.
it sort of caught a mischief. Caught a mischief.
Okay, Matt. Yeah, I'll give you some money. Unrelated. Can I please borrow your wallet for a moment?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
There you go. We have fun. So, what we normally do at the end of the episodes is talk about some of our favourite people in the words.
Favorite people in the world, yes.
And world, yeah. Also our favourite people in the words.
And our
I
feelings.
stand by that. I never misspeak. I just accidentally say what I meant.
What you meant?
Yep.
Wow.
What we normally do when we're thanking some of our favourite people who support us at patreon.com/dogoonpod,
Yes.
the first group of people we like to thank is in our favourite section of the show. It's called the Do Go On.
Do goat on.
It's called the Do Go On Fact, Quote or Question section. And it's
And it
got a little
goes
theme.
a little something like this. Fact, quote, or question. Ding! Coming too early with the ding there, Dave. You've been doing that lately. And I'm sorry to bring it up now.
So I have perfect rhythm.
I don't think you do, because I say question.
They always forget the ding. A little Super Nintendo Chalmers quote there. As long as we're having fun. And this week, in the Fact Quote or Question segment, like every week, we like to shout out a couple of patrons who are on the Sydney Scheinberg deluxe level
Rest in peace.
Patreon Rest in Peace section of our Patreon. And they get to give us a fact, a quote, or a question. Also get to give us a title. And this week, I'd love to thank Katerina Gutierrez. Dave?
Where are we looking?
Katerina Gutierrez.
Gutierrez?
Okay, that's way different to what I said. Thank you so much, Katerina, who has called herself the CEO of Jess Perkins Industries.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, you were bought out early.
Yeah, thank you for assuming I was bought out.
Well,
I
I
would
mean,
agree. Or I
Having
sold.
a CEO doesn't mean you've sold out. You've just got someone who's running the
Oh, I
corporate.
love that because
side of it.
I
No,
do
I-
like admin, but only to a certain
I reckon
degree.
you were bought out.
For a lot though.
Yeah, heaps. Like in the .com bubble.
So am I very wealthy now?
Extremely.
Oh,
Oh,
you
that's
sold
all right
out a
then. Yeah,
bubble.
go
Well
for
done.
it. Yeah, good luck running Jess Perkins Industries without me. What are you selling? Jess Perkins's. There's only one.
And she just sold.
And Katerina has chosen a question, which is one of the options in the Fact Quote or Question section. And her question is...
Oh, sorry. Is that off time?
That's off time. And like always, I haven't read these ahead of time, so it's fun for all of us. And Katerina writes, I have a question for each of you.
Oh.
Bop,
Yes.
this one goes to you.
Are
Thank
these,
you.
are these quick fire, do you think?
Hands on buzzers.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Bop.
Yes.
Eh.
Your names are your buzzers.
Okay.
First to buzz in.
Is my buzzer bop though?
Yeah. And
Okay.
this one is a question to you.
Great.
So,
Yes.
buzz in.
Bop.
Okay, this question's for you, Bop.
Bop.
Would you rather have all numbers in your life end in odds, i.e. 53 instead of 55 or 50, or
I mean,
every time you... Oh, this is a would you
55 is still an
rather,
odd.
by the way. I don't know if they're all going to be would you rathers, but this one is. Would you rather all the numbers in your life end in odds, i.e. 53 instead of 55 or 50, or
I mean, that,
every time you get sick, your sneezes sound like a duck quacking?
Oh, sneezes 100%.
That sounds adorable.
Yeah.
Which is your brand.
Exactly.
quack, quack, quack,
What, somebody step on a duck?
quack.
It'll just be me.
One of my
I don't
favourite-
get. I don't.
Alright.
I mean, I get sick a bit,
Yeah.
but not sneeze.
Oh.
It's not sneeze.
I get like throat infections or gout.
Meningococcal.
Every time you swallow, it sounds like a duck. You've got
that'd
gout.
be annoying.
So that was easy for you.
Yeah, big time.
Quack. And we have to go, bless you.
Yeah, you do, and nobody's allowed to tease me for it. No, it'd be cute. A little duck. That's so cute.
Oh, that's good.
I wish it was
Ooh.
like that. I'm going
Ooh.
to try doing that now.
Quack, goes
Quack.
untight.
Yeah, that's so cute. After playing Untitled Goose Game, now around my house, I just honk sometimes. It's fun. Honk.
Honk.
Katarina asks me,
You got to buzz in.
Matt,
I'll fill this one.
would you rather never be able to watch a Saints game again or
Oof.
have Gary, Indiana ban you from visiting for life?
Oh.
Oh, that's a harder one. Bops was easier. Never be able to watch.
So you
It's
can't
not
even watch.
attend, can't even watch it on the
You can't
telly.
watch it in telly. I feel like that's going to happen to you more.
Yeah, you watch
Yeah.
that weekly.
Because, I mean, I've lived my life to this point without having visited Gary, Indiana.
Yeah.
I don't like this world you've created, Katarina.
No, but I think there's an obvious solution.
So Gary, Indiana. So I could stand outside of Gary, Indiana.
You could
and
get
I
a
could
photo
still
at-
watch Gary, Indiana on TV.
Yeah,
I said
exactly.
Indiana
You
weird
can,
then.
watch the Rail Cats on TV.
Yeah, so I could get a friend to go in there with some sort of a 3D camera,
Mm-hmm.
put on a VR headset,
Yes,
and live virtually in Gary.
yes. I
But
will
I
do
would
that
never
for
be
you.
able to do that for a Saints game.
Exactly.
So I think I'd have to say, and it breaks my heart to say it, but I'd have to take the banning from Gary, Indiana.
Yep.
But I wouldn't. I mean, honestly,
It's a tough choice.
Tough
of course.
choice.
Of course.
and I would not choose to live in that world.
No.
And finally, Dave,
All right, hand on buzzer.
Buzz in.
would you rather lose the
Dave.
ability to read? Yes.
I'm just buzzing in.
Yeah, well, you've buzzed in. You don't get to hear the end of the question now.
So answer the question.
Answer the question. A or B?
B. Now let's see the options.
Okay. A, would you rather lose the ability to read, but you've chosen B, gain a lisp too difficult to understand on podcast. Please give us an example of what this sounds like.
Jeff.
No,
I
too
can
difficult.
still,
We can
I can
understand
understand
that.
you.
Death.
No, so-
Okay, it's just going to be this then.
And that's the option you've chosen? You want to sound like that? 'Cause that's the end of our podcast.
Yeah, but then he can read.
But if I can't read, we can't do. I just can't report anymore.
Yeah.
But you can't. You also can't contribute jokes.
Yes. Well,
You can contribute well-timed. And actually, he
think
ends
I know
up
what he's trying to
absolutely
say.
killing. Like he's so much funnier than us.
Really, really.
That's another tough one, but I reckon.
and the beauty is it means that he still gets to write reports.
Yes, he can write them and we'll read
We'll
them.
just read them. That is a great scenario.
Yeah, it's so good.
All right, I picked that option.
Thanks so much,
How do we
Katarina,
cut his tongue out?
for supporting us here on the Patreon.
You got me hung.
And secondly, I'd love to thank Travis Alexander, who has given himself the title of the only Travis in the world.
Oh, I reckon.
I don't know if that's true.
No, I reckon. I
What
reckon
about
it is. I don't know
Travis
any others.
the band who sang about Why Does It Always Rain on Him?
And also Flowers in
them.
the Window.
And also, what about Travis Barker from Blink-182?
And what about Travis from my work?
Yeah, and what about
He's nice.
Travis Alexander? Oh, no, that's him.
That's the only Travis.
That's the only Travis. I think all those Travises are the same
Yeah,
Travis.
same guy. Ah, there you go.
Travis Alexander, now all of a sudden, you've done all the things that Travises have done are under your umbrella.
Congrats.
Um,
It's also a lot of responsibility. I hope no Travises do anything bad. You know? Hope we don't have like a Travis like
a
Hitler man.
travesty.
Oh, fuck. That's so good.
Is it?
Yes. Yes, that's so good.
We've been in England for too long.
We love
What,
puns
a day?
now.
Well, half a day. Half a day and we're...
Already punning mad.
And Travis has given us a fact.
I love a fact.
We love facts
I'll
here.
decide if it's fun.
And he has written, I've shared this on the Patreon Facebook page before.
So I've probably already seen it. So it's probably not that interesting then, is it?
Well, let's find out together.
Worth sharing twice. There might be.
Yeah.
He writes, I discovered not long after the episode came out that I have a somewhat interesting tie to the Axeman of New Orleans. I was going to say ancestor. My ancestor, bracket first cousin, comma, 4 times removed according to Ancestry.com. Oh no, he's given his DNA to Ancestry.com. That means you should never serial kill.
Yeah, they'll
'Cause
find
they
you.
will find you.
They'll find you easy.
There's other reasons why you shouldn't serial kill.
That's the main one, though.
But that is the new main one. He says, this ancestor was the head surgeon who treated a few of the Axeman's victims. His name was Dr. Jerome E. Landry. And he seemed to be very well known and liked by everyone. Oh,
Ancestry.com tells you whether people are liked or not. Imagine
give
like, your
there's a
great-great
column.
uncle was a real dick.
It gives them a rating out of a bunch of things.
I'm imagining that he found out this guy's name and he's researched him further and he's
No.
found his Facebook profile.
Ancestry.com's really up their game.
Wow.
I can't get comfortable where we are. I'm just moving around a lot.
In fairness, you are on the floor and we are both on the couch.
Yeah, it's true, but that was my decision. Travis, that is a fun fact.
That is
That is a
interesting.
fun
That's so
fact.
interesting. How cool. What a good tie to...
How annoying to find out a serial killer fact and now not be able to serial kill because you
Yeah.
found the fact out.
Ah, the grandest irony.
Oh dear. Oh dearie me, Travis.
the cruel irony.
Yes.
Yes.
So, for the people
Democracy
still listening,
manifest.
we I think we mentioned on a recent episode this video that has long been viral, at least in Australia, about a man who was only trying to eat a succulent Chinese meal. And we've been saying it over and over to each other. Ah, yes.
I see you know your judo well.
And you know what? When you're traveling with people, let alone working and doing shows together, there's a lot of communicating. You know, can you please make sure you have the tech bag? Or, oh, don't worry, I've got this thing that we need for our show. There's a lot of instances where you can say yes to things. But we don't do that anymore. We say, yes.
And also, whenever someone says you're under arrest, we say, I'm under what?
I'm under what? You try to receive my limp penis? Every meal has become succulent, let me tell you.
Yeah, as the food, everything has become
So succulent.
Succulent Chinese meal.
I see you know your judo well.
Oh, we're losing it.
as
so
food is
tired.
delivered to the table.
Ah,
you.
yes.
Ah, yes.
Democracy manifest. Watch the video. Stop this right now. It's way better than anything I'll ever
You'd
say.
only have to Google succulent Chinese meal.
Yeah,
and
Yeah, it
come
will
up.
come up
it
for
comes
you.
up, yeah.
An Australian hero. Without knowing enough about his life. Hopefully he didn't do anything too fucked.
Well, I think the backstory is he's being arrested there because he was trying to, what some people call dine and dash, where you skip the restaurant before
No
paying.
one calls it that.
You were surprised when I called it that earlier.
Dine and
Exactly. We're surprised.
That's such an affluent East way of
Dine
saying
and
it.
dash.
Where
Oh.
I came from, it was called
Doing
doing
a
a runner.
My dad still jokes about
I
that.
dine and dash. Ah, yes.
My dad will still do that if you have dinner with the family. Like, he'll look at everyone's shoes and be like, oh, yep, all right, we got running shoes on.
That's good. That's a good bit. John Perkins, you old dog.
Salty old dog.
Salty dog.
Anyway, let's thank some
Let's
people. What do
thank
you
a
reckon?
few patrons. Do we have a little game? Something Irish. So we had Bono.
Right.
We had the thief, the painting thief.
Hugh
And we had the
Lane.
River of Whiskey Fire.
Mm.
Anything there? Getting you excited?
What about, you know how Bono had different U2 characters?
Oh, yeah, great.
All right, we give them-
perfect. Mirabal Man.
We give them a Bono persona.
Yeah, great.
El McFeast. What else is there?
Was it El McFeast?
No,
Does the
El
McFeast?
McFeast was
Was it just
an actual comedy
McFeisto or
character.
something?
McFeisto.
McFeisto.
Just cannot believe Mirabal Man.
I
It's
know.
the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Okay, yeah, we'll give him character.
McFeisto.
So bad. We'll give him character. That's a great idea.
Him having to tell the Edge, oh no, tonight I'll be Mirabal Man.
And the Edge being like, whatever, Paul.
And he's like, my
Whatever,
nickname
Paul.
is the Edge, and that's even I know that's fucking dumb.
Yeah, mine's the Edge. What a anyway.
There's something real great about the name The Edge, though.
What do you think Bono calls the Edge? Does he say Edge?
Yeah, he says Edge.
Edge is here.
Yeah. Hey, Edge.
Edge is running 5 minutes late.
Yeah, putting the in front of a nickname is weird, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, how many edges do you know?
Oh fuck, good
He
point.
is the Edge. I'd love to think if I could kick things off from Harrisonburg in VA, which I'd like to think of as Virginia.
Yeah, Harrisonburg, Virginia. Amazing.
And I would love to thank from that particular burg, Zachary J. Dobrin.
Oh, Zach Dobrin.
Zach Dobrin. Fantastic name.
And his character is Dobby the Elf.
And everyone's like, Bono, that's kind of copyrighted.
That's
Bono's
already a thing.
He's
No,
like,
no.
no, it's different because what it is that I'm like it's called a house elf, right? So I'm like a servant. But if you give me a sock that releases me, yes, Bono, this is ripped entirely word for word from Harry Potter.
Oh, I'm not a house elf then. I'm a beach house elf.
I'm a
I've got a
apartment elf.
surfboard under my
Yeah.
hand, and my stepdad is Sandy Cohen. Is that different?
It's always the OC with you, isn't it?
Yes, it is always the OC with me. How dare you?
No, I'm saying I was just checking.
Yes.
Oh,
Thank you so much, Zachary Dobrin, aka Dobby, the beach house elf.
Perfect.
With it, and I hope you using your relationship with Sandy Cohen well, because you know what? If you get yourself in a bind, he's going to be there for you, and that doesn't matter what kind of bind it is. If it's legal, yeah, he's done law, and he knows what's going on. Maybe he surfs in the morning, but in the afternoon, he's getting boys out of trouble. And boy, if you're in trouble, don't be afraid to knock on Sandy's door. If you're wondering, how do I smear cottage cheese on a bagel? Yeah, you better believe Sandy Cohen's the man to go to. And there's so many other scenarios where he can help, but they're two of the ones that just came top of mind. Zachary Dobby Dobrin. I'd also love to thank from Baltimore, MD. Oh, medical doctor.
Oh, wow.
What does that mean? Minnesota? Minnesota? No, Maryland.
Yeah.
Could it be?
Yeah, Maryland.
Maryland. I'd love to thank from Baltimore, Maryland, Shabab Haider. Oh, hang on, that's his surname. Shams Shabab Haider. Holy fuck, is this the new best name of all time?
That's so good.
Shams Shabab Haider. Holy
His
fuck.
first name is Sham.
Shams.
Oh, I
Shams
love that so
Shabab.
much.
Shams Shabab Haider. Shams Shabab Haider. That's like the Prince song, Cream. Has a line in it that says, Cream, no, it's quite different actually. Cream Shaboogie Bop is pretty different now that I think about it. The Shams Shabab Haider, but I reckon if you were creative enough, you could fit that in.
Well,
that
if
melody.
you're creative as Bono, I reckon that his character is
Cream.
Just Cream or Cream Boy.
I brought some cream. That's the character. He's always
It's a
brought
tea
cream,
lady.
no matter what the scenario. Want some cream with that?
And then he's offended if they say no. He's like, oh, chicken nuggets, I've got cream. No thanks, Bono.
You don't want cream on your nuggies. No, I don't want cream on the nuggies. Oh, cream's not good enough for you. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry the cream let you down again. I'm so sorry. Why don't I go chuck myself back in the fridge where I live? Oh, I'm cream. I'm a cream boy.
And Larry Mullins Jr. is just like, oh, for fuck's sake, Bono. Just sing Sunday Bloody Sunday. Fucking hell.
And he Oh. Oh my god, I'm so tired.
Did somebody order a mechanic? Is your car broken down? Because I've got the answer. It's cream. I got cream for all.
Honestly, mate, we're running really late. We need to get RACV on the line or some other roadside assistance, depending on where I am in MD. It's probably MD CV. CV. What's the C for? Car vehicle? Royal Auto car vehicle? Is that what it is?
It's for Victoria, the state we live in.
Royal Auto car Victoria. Is that it?
Yep.
Royal Auto Cream Victoria. Oh, no. Put this in your gas tank. That will get you going.
Shams Shabab Hater. I don't know if I've ever heard a better name than that.
I need to see it written down.
Shams Shabab Hater. Holy fuck. That is so good. Thank you so much, Shams.
Thank you, Shams.
AK Cream.
Dave, would you like to thank some people as well?
Please. I mean, it's a hard act to follow.
I know.
Oh, great. One of my all-time favourite names coming up right here.
Here we go.
Keith.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
I would love to thank Keith Barnes.
Oh,
Whoa,
Barnesy.
any relation to Jimmy?
Oh, maybe.
The screaming cowboy / working class man
Well-
himself?
Recently, we did the report on Jimmy Barnes, and then we posted about it, and there was a comment from someone with the surname Barnes saying, I hear this guy's got a great name. This could have been Keith
That's a
Barnes.
good bit. Keith Barnes. Keith is a great name.
And Keith is writing in
Koof.
or supporting us from Sacramento, California.
Ah, Sacramento, the Kings.
Kings, and also is that the capital?
Kings Country. Yeah, Sacramento, the capital of California. So, I guess, have I done one of these yet? All right.
What about King something?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking King.
All right. Bono character. All right. Got to think real good and fun and.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely relevant.
And also commenting on political situations.
Yeah. Okay.
What was it? Mick Fisto was sort of trying to make fun of.
The devil.
Oh, okay.
Mirabal Man was
The devil's been ripe for ridicule for so long, and no one's taken
No
that.
one's done. No one's been brave
And
enough.
was Mirabal Man just holding a mirror up to society?
Mirabal Man was the one that was about. It was televangelist preachers, car salesmen,
Oh yeah.
and something else.
Bono's been burnt in the past.
Yeah, big
When he
time.
was trying to buy a Honda.
All right, Matt
Okay,
King.
so King, and all right, who are we going to take down? Someone as big as some sort, because you think of like the sacred cows of society. You think car salesman,
Yep.
televangelists,
Yep.
and of course, donkey breeders.
What's his name? King Donkey.
King Ass.
King Ass.
I think I may have read your mind a little bit then because I was thinking donkey.
Really?
Yes.
We are in sync.
We're so in sync.
We're more in sync than Justin Timberlake and one of the other members.
Lance
Of
Bass.
Oh,
Lance
nice
Bass,
King.
which is a homonym for bass. Is that right? Or is it homophobe? Or the other one?
It's not a
one. That's
homophobe.
homophobe.
What are the other ones? This has got more of a loose feel of a Patreon episode than it does. I forget this is going out publicly.
Oh, yeah.
We should play it.
Homonym.
Homonym, thank
Homonym.
you.
Yes, hello. Thank you for joining
Yes,
us on our
hello,
podcast.
sorry.
So King
A good
Ass wasn't
day.
very good.
King Ass.
King Ass.
King Ass.
King Ass.
Keith
Oh, that's-
Barnes, a.k.a. King Ass.
Holding a mirror up to society there. Taking down the people that need to be taken down. Good on you, Keith Barnes.
Yes. Well done, Keith.
On you, Keith.
Let me thank another person now, all the way from Morfett Vale, South Australia, Benjamin Dragovelich. Benjamin Dragovelich.
Yes, Ben.
Dragovelich.
So close to having the word dragon in your name.
Yeah,
Oh,
dragons
okay.
in there.
Where are you taking
Dragons
that?
in there,
Puff?
okay. Oh,
The
yeah.
magic?
What about Den? 'Cause they have that
Dragon's
show, Dragon's
Den.
Den. But Den is just someone who keeps everything in the den.
Okay.
What does that
Everything's in the den.
So everything else, every other room of their house is empty.
Empty. Everything's in the den. They're a hoarder, but only in the den.
Real niche.
So the rest of the house is quite neat
Yeah, absolutely.
or completely empty.
No, completely empty.
Okay, but neat.
Everything's in the den.
There's nothing neater than empty.
And
That's
that
the
is
ultimate neat.
holding a mirror up to society about consumerism.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
Denny.
Denny.
Denny. The character is Denny, but
Yeah.
then they hide everything in the den.
That's so good.
Is it? Is it?
Is it?
no, you've done it again.
Is it so good, or is it past midnight and we're tired?
Cream and Den, they do not see eye to eye. Oh, would you like some cream? Not in the Den. Anything goes in there except cream. But what about this bit of cream? No cream.
Watching Dave do.
bit of cream?
It's like one spoonful, but this bit of cream.
He changes his whole physicality.
Yeah,
you know?
it's amazing
That's a
watching
man
him.
who's done drama in high school.
And university.
What?
Yeah, it was a waste of money. What?
You did drama and what?
I'm under what?
Thank you so much.
Thank you
to
so much, Benjamin.
All right, I'm going to bring it home
Okay,
now.
Denny.
Here we go. From Preston in Great Britain, which
Oh.
we drove through or passed today.
That's crazy.
Maybe we even met this person last night because there was 2 people from Preston.
Oh.
Alex Dunhill.
Oh, Dunny. Okay, Alex
Alex
Dunhill.
Dunnell.
Alex Dunnell.
That's probably how Alex says it.
Pres-
Alex. Hello, I'm Alex
Hello,
Dunnell.
I'm Alex Dunnell.
Oh, I've got an appointment. My name's Alex Dunnell.
Okay, you went late in a Terminator there, but
How so?
oh, and the way it sounded.
Oh, I thought you meant the way I was standing.
Physicality. Just thought, the presence.
Alex.
Alex Dunnell. Okay.
Dunnell.
Preston.
Donald.
Preston.
So
okay.
sorry, Alex.
All right, I reckon he's gonna be called.
Or she.
He or she is gonna be satirizing. Modern culture's
Yes.
need to be buff and vain and all that sort of stuff.
Oh yeah, today we saw a sign with a dog on it, and the dog was so ripped.
It was ripped.
It
It
was
a ripped dog.
dangerous.
That was a scary looking dog.
So this character obviously is called
Here we go.
Dumbbell.
Yes. So you wouldn't have got there had I not done the accent.
Yeah, I think that was it.
And is it spelt dumb-bell?
Yeah.
To try and really hammer it home.
Oh, what about Idiot Bell?
Yes.
Idiot dumbbell.
Yeah. I think that's
great.
great.
First name idiot, surname dumbbell.
And the cat
Perfect.
wears a muscle suit on
Yes.
stage.
Yep.
And,
And
it's
like
doing
is all greased up.
yeah, and always doing curls.
Yes.
I was doing curls with the edge.
Yeah. He's curling the edge. So somehow the muscle suit makes him muscly.
Yeah, well, he's curling the edge, his hair, and that's the reason he has to wear that stupid beanie.
Oh,
Yes.
Because he's got curly hair under there.
that is good stuff.
That's great stuff. You nailed it, Dave.
Bono's constantly curling his hair.
While he sleeps, he just curls it. So he wakes up, he's like, God damn it, Bono.
With each one of these, I think we've lost it a little more than the last.
Well, let's go again.
Oh, we got one to go.
One more. So I would like to thank From Home, Melbourne.
Oh, don't. You're gonna make me cry.
I can't. We've been away for a week.
We've been away. Have we been? Has it even been a whole week?
Tomorrow it'll be a
Oh my
week.
God.
It's been 6 days. But this person is still back in our home city, looking after it for us.
Thank you
I
so
would
much.
like to thank Tom Mitchell.
Tom Mitchell.
Tom Mitchell.
Thank you so much, Tom. You goddamn legend. All right,
That
Tom
is
Mitchell.
my best friend from high school,
What?
and still best friend, who is the lead singer of Weed Hornet.
What? I like how you said, and still best friend.
Well, you know, it sounded like that we had fallen away or something. Yeah. And I did know Tom's listened to the show. I didn't know he was on Patreon. Thank
Did you
so
know
much,
he's
Tom.
been on Patreon for about a year?
Thanks, Tom. What a guy.
Does Tom have a nickname?
Lankmaster.
Oh, that
Oh.
sounds Bono-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where'd that come from?
That does feel a little. What's Lankmore? What was he having a go at there?
Oh, about society and how gangly and lanky it was when Tom was 14.
The gangly arm of economics. Yes. How society, it's the invisible hand, the gangly invisible hand of economics. And that's why we call him, what, Gangmaster?
Lankmaster.
Lankmaster.
His email involved Lankmaster in early high school.
It involved
Just because
it.
he was 6'4" and very thin and lanky at the time.
Lanky kid, yeah. Okay.
Wow. The
There you go.
Lankmaster.
Bono's character is Lankmaster. What a tribute.
And he
Yeah.
wears like really long arms.
Yeah, they're dragging along the stage.
Yeah.
Like the Monty Python character, the fishy,
Yes.
that sort of thing.
Or the Auntie Donna character.
Yes.
Touchy Tim.
Yes.
Something like that.
Or the Mighty Boosh character with the really long arms.
Okay, so
And
it's
then he
been
said,
done.
I always get my man.
It's been done.
Oh, I don't know if Bono.
We don't have any creative ideas.
necessarily against doing things that have been done.
No, but
Yeah.
I am.
Okay.
And we should have done better there.
Not that I think anyone had previously done Mirabal Man.
Yeah, good point. That's original. No one ever has done it since.
That's an original idea. What about Cream? Has anyone done Cream?
No, they wouldn't dream of it. They wouldn't dream of
Boy.
cream.
Oh, that is very good stuff. Do you think Tom will mind that we've just given him his already existing nickname?
I think it's been a while since anyone's probably called him Lake Master. So, and for Bono to be doing it as a tribute.
Oh,
What
yes.
yeah.
Oh, yes.
What an honour.
Congratulations to you, Tom. And thank you so much for being involved. It's wild to me that the singer from Weed Hornets listens, let alone supports this show.
It's a
on
it's a
Patreon.
thrill.
And if you want to join Tom Mitchell, aka the Lankmaster, on Patreon, supporting us there, you can do it at patreon.com/dogoonpod. And maybe we'll talk some real dumb bullshit about you in a future week.
Probably.
Probably not this dumb, though.
It's
We are
this
more
feels
tired than
the-
we've ever been.
It does seem like the weirdest,
Yeah.
but also it's been fun.
It's been a lot of fun.
I've laughed a lot.
And that pretty much brings us to the end of the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, as Jess said at the start of the show, if you are keen to come see us and you're in, I think Bristol's already sold out, but we have a handful of tickets left in London for my stand-up show on the 7th, and one of our shows on the 8th.
The afternoon show's got a
Yeah.
few tickets left.
So you can get those at dogoonpod.com.
And also Birmingham the next night. The final show of the tour, which is the 9th.
Oh, yes, come see us off in Birmingham. That would be
Birmingham.
really cool at the Glee Club there.
It's a really cool venue. You should definitely come
Yes.
check it out.
We're excited. It's been so fun, but it's flashing before our eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess apart from that, just find us on social media and everything at dogoonpod. That's on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and at gmail.com or .com for our website. And yeah, anything else we need to say?
Yes.
Yes. It's Democracy Manifest.
I'm under what?
Do yourself a favor, watch that video. And until next week, I would always love to say to you, let's get ready later.
Bye.
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 Bye, bye, bye,
Bye. 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 Okay, gotta go. Bye.
This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates. I mean, if you want. It's up to you.
This is Acast Recommends. Every week we pick one of our favorite shows, and this is one we think you're gonna love.
Gee Thanks Just Bought It is the podcast where we talk about what we just bought and tell you what you need to buy next. Hi, I'm Caroline Moss, and each week a guest joins me to talk about the product they've purchased that they can't stop talking about. From spatulas to hair dryers, foldable desks to sunscreen, there's something for everyone. And I'm here to help you take some of the guesswork out of shopping and point you in the right direction so you can buy the thing that you need and go on with your life. Gee Thanks Just Bought It. New episodes every Friday. See you there.
Acast is home to the biggest podcasts from the U.S. and around the world. Subscribe to this show and hundreds more now via Acast or wherever you get your podcasts.